everybody to podcast 146.
I don't know what that noise was. Hi, everybody.
Don't give me that look. Come on. Let's introduce everybody. Who's in the house? Who's in the house?
Are you introducing yourself? No?
Oh, they know who I am.
Oh, okay.
Amy Ashley Murkowski. Come on.
And this is Colette Dexella Murphy.
And this is Tony Radar X Jones.
Who's very quiet. So today is April 9th, 2013, and we're live. And we're going to release this on our other channels on April 10th, which is tomorrow. So we'll be on iTunes and the podcast page and our forums and all those good places. So today we're going to talk about EQ2.
Woohoo.
But we're also going to talk about Bristle Binding Day, Game Update 66, Scars of the Awakened Beta. We have an interview with EverQuest 2 dev team members. Our Ask the Audience segment this week is, what is your favorite part of beta for GU66? And our play talk this week is community team had a play session last Friday that Tony organized. So we're going to get down with that.
In EQ2.
In EQ2.
Lots of EQ2 stuff.
Yeah, so we hope you like EQ2. So our first topic is Bristle Binding Day.
Yay.
Did you guys get to play in that?
I have been, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the live events. It's one of my favorite parts is every time there's a new holiday, because it's a nice way to mix things up, and there's fun stuff when it only comes once a year to get to do that part of it, and then it disappears for a while, and so
You have to wait till next year.
you have to wait till next year, and that's kind of a bummer.
So how much time do we have left?
Not much. It ends on Thursday, the 11th, so just a couple days left.
Well, I'm glad that I already got some time in.
Yeah.
Favorite part so far?
I really like the Snack Snatcher race that's out on Enchanted Lands, the one where you get to ride the horse of a different color. And I actually finally got a tip on how to do better at that race. Because when I play, I tend to keep a fairly close perspective. I'm not always in first person, but I'm pretty close to my actual character. And my husband plays also, and he was saying to pull the view all the way back and kind of look up and over yourself as you're running, which was amazing, because then you could see all of the various snacks, the ones you could avoid, the ones not, the ones you want to hit, the ones you don't want to hit, at a much better angle. And unless you run by a tree, which then completely blocks your vision, it makes it much better. And this year there's an achievement for it that I am still 3 snacks away from getting. But I have 3 days, and I will get it by the end of those 2 days.
I'm going to have to try that with your tip, because I was having trouble with it as well. I did that one, too. I got my horse of a different color finally this year. I hadn't before. So, my favorite, actually, was the Sinking Sands, which was new this year. You go and you get to bounce on those... I forget what they're called now. The bouncy things. And you get the yellow and green glow, or yellow and red glowies, and there's also blue fish glowies, which are worth more points. Oh. Yeah, and they bounce you higher, and that was really fun. And I've got about a full set of armor and 2 of the masks, and I got 2 cute little house pet bow watches.
Nice.
You say them right. Yeah.
You can actually get one. It's the matriarch one in the Snack Snatcher race.
Oh.
That's one of the options if you get high enough, which I didn't really think about. I was like, oh, cool, the matriarch. It'll be great. And I have this tiny little apartment in Ironforge in Kinos. And so I put it in there, and it's huge. And it was one of those, like, I could have rescaled it, but I set it in my apartment and went, oh, you need land. I need to get some place that has land for you. So,
Tony, have you done any of the Bristle Binding Day content?
So I'm more of a fan of the classics. I like the scavenger hunt that you can't really finish. If you need a tip on that, just don't try and finish it.
The ultimate troll, right?
Yes.
All right. So shall we take it to the news?
Sure.
So before we do, Colette wanted to share the EQ2 specific news.
yes.
So what's that?
Coming up in a couple of weeks, if you are on the Antonia Bale server, there is a player-run festival coming. It's the Blood Moon Festival. And this is going to be a role-playing event that will be held April 19th through the 22nd in the Darklight Woods. We will have more information on the website and the forums coming soon, but mark your calendars now if you are on Antonia Bale, or if you want to create a character on Antonia Vale to take part of that player run event.
And is there any PlanetSide 2 news to share? I'm just curious.
With PlanetSide 2, we're updating as we always do. We just had a recent game update which added some great changes to it. If you're a PlanetSide 2 player, you should definitely check it out. Awesome.
And I have DC Universe Online news. Have you met the council? Follow at DCUO or at Spittle, which is SPYTLE, on Twitter, and look for the hashtag #MeetTheCouncil to see the earliest previews of Origin Crisis. Also, you may want to be watching carefully tomorrow. Just a hunch.
And then I have some news about Dragon's Prophet, and we're big fans of dragons in Norath. Yeah, a little bit. So I like getting to share this. Dragon's Prophet, we are ramping up rapidly in closed beta. Over 1,000 prophets are now romping around in Aurasia, which is the world that this game exists in. So will you be next? Make sure you sign up for beta at www.dragonsprophetthegame.com.
Sweet.
So for Clone Wars Adventures, am I supposed to do the Clone Wars voice, like from the cartoon?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, let's do it.
A separatist threat, just increasing... I can't even keep it straight. Yes.
He tried.
I did. And in response to an increasing separatist threat, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine and Jedi Master Mace Windu have ordered a Sector Army rendezvous in Felucia immediately. All able-bodied combatants are requested to report for duty as soon as possible. Log into Clone Wars Adventures today to join the battle in the new Felucia combat zone.
Awesome. All right. So I heard about this, and I'm excited. So Vanguard, ships ahoy! Looking to set sail on the new High Seas Adventures this weekend. All ships listed on the marketplace are on sale until Thursday, April 11th. So go in and get your ship.
And our last little bit of general news is that SOE Live registration will go live the second half of April. Book your rooms now at Planet Hollywood for the event, which runs August 1st. First through 4th is one of the hardest date ranges to say. They totally trolled us by picking those days. So again, Planet Hollywood, August 1st through the 4th in Las Vegas.
Awesome. I can't wait for SOE Live. It's going to be exciting.
I'm excited. I'm really excited about the new venue and all the stuff we got planned for this year. So
yeah. All right. So on to our next topic, Scars of the Awakened beta.
Awesome.
All right. So what do we have? When did this beta start?
Beta started on Tuesday, April 2nd. So we're about a week in now.
Weekend. Do we know when it's going to end?
I don't know the specific end date. Sometime before launch, which is April 30th.
All right. And what should players be focusing on while they're in their beta testing?
Oh, well, there's so much going on. There's a lot of class changes that we're looking for feedback on. That was based on some threads that were posted earlier. You'll hear about that in the interview. There's this new housing market that is being tested. Of course, the new zones. Reporting bugs is always important. There's new stuff in PvP. There's new trade skill stuff. This is a huge game update. There's a lot going on, which we will hear more about in the interview, of course, but make sure you are testing all of it. And as you find stuff, discover stuff, see things that have changed, make sure you're updating our official wiki, which is EQ2.wikia.com. Putting stuff on during beta is always a great opportunity to get involved.
That's way cool. And so you just kind of entered the interview for us.
Yes.
Shall we take it away with Kyle Candervali, Mike Zelgad-Gans, and Brian Umagi Ferguson from the EverQuest 2 dev team.
Welcome to the interview portion of our podcast. We are here to talk about Game Update 66 for EverQuest 2, Scars of the Awakened. With me I have...
Kyle Candervali, I'm lead designer.
Michael Zelgad-Gans, systems designer.
And Brian Amugi Ferguson, systems designer.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, guys. Let's get started by talking about Scars of the Awakened. For those of you who may have missed our webcasts last week or aren't in beta yet, can you guys give us a brief summary about what's going on in this game update?
Yeah, we have a pretty large, robust update. It's got a complete overland zone, Cobalt Scar, lots of quests and monsters, and there's actually going to be a lot of new monsters and new models and new stuff that people have never seen before. That's pretty exciting. We're going to have 2 heroic zones, 2 advanced solo zones, and a big raid, a good-sized raid. The raid's going to have nine raid bosses with 2 challenge bosses and a 3rd boss that is only for the hardcore raiders. Lots and lots of new stuff, items.
Very cool.
Suddenly blank.
There are new items. That's the important part.
On the itemization, we're only upgrading about 7 slots per tiers. We're making an effort not to make your Chains of Eternity stuff irrelevant. One of the things we did in Sky Shrine was we basically hit you over the head with gear, and we want to make it so that there's a progression and you still have a reason to go back to the current content. So per tier, we're upgrading roughly about 7 slots.
Right.
So
cool. Now, in class changes, so earlier this year, you had asked players for feedback on the class forums, and how did that go, and were you surprised at all at what people had to say?
You know what? Not really. I wasn't really surprised. We decided to ask for feedback that way because we knew there was room for improvement. I was happy to see so many little suggestions, little changes that were just beyond, oh, buff this ability or nerf this ability, that type of stuff. So there was a lot of little things we can do to make things better.
Awesome. So what sort of changes can the players expect, and are they all now currently on beta for testing?
Well, everything we have done internally is currently on beta, but obviously we'll see what you guys think of them before pushing them live. We'll make changes or scrap some of the existing ones depending on player feedback.
And then how do you incorporate player feedback when you make these kinds of changes?
If I pick up a class that I haven't played in a while, I'll usually notice a few things, little things about the class that just, they don't seem to play right. It doesn't really show up on paper when you look at the class as, from a design perspective, and you just look at it, oh, the numbers look like they're right, but this stuff doesn't really show up.
Right.
Getting feedback from players who play these classes every day really helps identify the little annoying things that have been overlooked for a while. Mm-hmm. They're mainly quality of life changes.
Okay.
Make the game more fun, make the game easier to play.
Yeah, awesome. Very cool. So there's also some additions coming into PvP. What sort of additions are being made?
We're also doing class balance adjustments for PvP specifically, and taking into account what Zelda has already adjusted and making further adjustments on top of that to make sure our PvP stays nice and tuned up. We're also adding new contested PvP gear, and we're adding a battleground spawn protection.
So are all of these changes going to affect open world, battlegrounds, both?
The class balance adjustments will affect both, for sure. The contested PvP rewards are made for open world Nagman players, but they'll be acquirable on normal servers, just at a slower rate. And the battleground spawn protection is for battleground players.
Awesome. So we've also know there's some new changes going in for trade skills, and we've been told there will be new quests. About how many are being added?
Over 20 new trade skill quests have been added.
Wow, that's awesome. And there are also new recipes going in. So are these going to use currently existing ingredients? Are there going to be new ingredients? Where do you find the stuff?
There are a few new recipes that use existing components. The cool stuff, in my opinion, is actually the new Trade Skill Apprentice recipes. They will use, to make their final fully upgraded versions, they will use components from Siren's Grotto.
Cool. And then are there any new heritage trade skill items being added, like the Earring of the Solstice?
Yes, and yes is all I'm going to say about that because I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay. But we know that something new is coming, so that's cool. So in addition to Game Update 66, we've got in beta, we're working on all these changes. Right now, we're also in the middle of our live event, Bristle Binding Day. So what is your favorite part of this particular holiday?
I've been the champion of the Bovok since other designers who were the champion of the Bovok left the team, so I've made an effort to try to get one hidden here or there in just about every content update, so it made me quite excited.
Awesome.
To see that we were embracing it.
Mm-hmm. I'm also on board. All things Bovok, I love that thing. It's just so funny.
Yeah, I got
see one in the world and you're like, what? What the hell is that?
The beefster basket of the little baby one, the way that it dances. I was a big fan of that.
I'm a big fan of the pun with the beefster basket, and Bristle Binding Day has always meant a lot of drinking to me.
Okay. Fair enough.
There you go.
This is always our last sort of sign-off question before we head out. What games are you playing right now? Or if you're playing EQ2 exclusively, can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing in there?
I am playing EQ2, PlanetSide 2, and a little bit of League of Legends.
Cool.
I am playing BioShock Infinite. I've got about 40 hours in, but I'm also playing EQ2 a lot. So
I'm playing EQ2 exclusively, but I'm going to have to refrain from answering what class I'm playing because I don't want any sort of favoritism ideas coming out here. But I play multiple. I'm playing 6 different classes right now. So.
All right, so I can give you my list of what I'm playing when we're done. There we go.
Yeah. That'll work better, and then they can blame you.
Then they can totally blame me. Fair enough. Okay, well, if you haven't already, go ahead and copy your character over to beta and take a look at our new content and give your feedback to the guys who are here with me today, as well as the rest of the team. And we have more news about Scars of the Awakened coming in future webcasts and articles. So thank you for joining us. Bye. Hey, everyone.
And we're back. We hope we didn't cut off the interview for you there. We're having some audio issues on our end. What happened? Oh, yeah, that was just us. Yeah, we're crazy here. So we hope you liked that. We are on our Ask the Audience section.
Yeah.
We posted on the EQ2 forums and on Facebook. What is your favorite part of beta for GU66, Scars of the Awakened? Yeah. And our first response comes from Cloud Rat.
Yes, Cloud Rat says the house access button on her character select sheet, which has inspired happy dancing in the streets.
The next one is from, we're probably messing up character pronunciation. We apologize. So
I'm going to go with Sufio. Sufio says, Pet Assist button, holy cow! We've been asking for this longer than we were pestering the developers for Beast Loaders.
Oh, Shy Midnight says, probably that they're testing out house sales.
Mm-hmm. And Amy L says, the new trade skill content, woohoo! Which is very exciting. I know a lot of players are excited about that. So.
And then James M says, I liked playing as the Othmere Shaman.
There's some really cool Othmere stuff going on.
Yeah?
Well, cool may not be the right word.
Well, it's
if
cold.
you like, it is cold.
It's cold there.
It is cold. If you like the Othmere, it definitely pulls at your heartstrings a little bit to see what's going on over there.
All right, next we are going to talk about Playtime.
Yay! Nice.
I know, isn't that cool? All right, so Tony, you organized a play session for Comp Team. What can you tell our listeners about that?
So, here at SOE, we are gamers.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
I'm afraid we have to be. And what we did was we got together the community team and decided that we were going to play EverQuest 2 together. Mm-hmm. It was considering every single one of us are MMO veterans, it was a very interesting experience.
That's a really good way of saying it.
We all made level 1 characters. Yep. We all started in New Hallis. And we all went in different directions at the same time. We stayed together very early on. It was kind of fun, but we got separated pretty quickly, and you would find people in groups. I would somehow be on top of someone's dot, only to find out they were in a cave beneath the hill I was standing on top of. What I found really interesting was we approached things different ways. The group I was in, we strictly focused on questing. We went and finished quests. We got experience that way. Whereas,
with the exception of me, who was in his group and kept going, shinies! Because I forgot how many shinies there are in the lobby zones, and I was like, oh, look over there! Oh, look, there's another one! Oh, look, there's another one! So I was of no help to my group at all.
Well, that's okay, because we were all going in different directions. Paistro's group, instead of questing, actually focused on just killing things. And they ended up not doing quests and actually got as far as we did, level-wise. So it was an overall interesting experience.
That is interesting. So what are we doing this week?
This week we are going to do EverQuest.
Really?
Yes.
Old school, man.
Definitely.
I like it. That's cool. All right. Is there a question? Oh, you're just pointing at the screen. Mm-hmm. All right. All right. So that's it for podcast 146. We have snakes in here. Thank you guys so much. We hope you enjoyed our EQ2 themed podcast. That interview with Kyle, Mike, and Brian was great. I'm sure. I didn't get to listen to it because we had no audio in here. Please let us know how we're doing at podcast@soe.sony.com. And we hope to see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Sony.